So today, we are launching and flagging off the issuance of 1 million out of the 6 million title deeds that are ready across the registries in the various counties. And as we launch this National Title Deeds Issuance Program, today I do direct the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, working together with her counterpart in the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, to draw by this Friday a program assigning various Cabinet Secretaries responsibility to travel to each part of the country together with county commissioners to issue the balance of the ready title deeds. The program, I expect, to be executed expeditiously, and the balance of 1 million titles should be conveyed to their respective holders before sunset on the 8th of July this year. We gather here today as we pursue our issuance of approximately 1 million title deeds across our country. We made a pledge on the 3rd of February 2013 when I launched the Jubilee Manifesto. And on that occasion, as part of my remarks, I stated that for far too long, Kenyans have been talking about the land question, and what we needed was the land answer. To make matters worse, as of 2013, and 60 years after the Swighton Plan was initiated, 67% of land in Kenya had still not been adjudicated and had no titles. I highlighted that people living on community land suffered disadvantages not suffered by those who are living on their own registered land, as they cannot unlock the commercial value of that land. Further, I did note how public bodies were hampered from providing services due to encroachment, grabbing, and uncertainty due to land holdings. I also observed that individuals living on untitled land could not develop the land because they knew in any instant they could be summarily evicted. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a land problem that I found on my desk as I began my tenure as president. And 9 years later, I can stand before you, having been honored by the high mandate that you bestowed upon me, with the land question having significantly been answered. We did this by firstly introducing the National Titling Program in the year 2013. And this program and the resources we have put behind it has enabled the processing and issuance of title deeds to our citizens. As part of this program, we established the National Titling Center, the Rapid Titling Initiative, land clinics, and formed links with both land buying companies as well as county governments. And these progressive measures were buttressed by enhanced recruitment of technical staff and the deployment of other critical resources, including motor vehicles and survey equipment. And 9 years later, the success achieved is really unbelievably remarkable. The program has made it possible to issue title deeds to once forgotten areas such as Samburu, Isiolo, Marsabit counties, to mention but a few. And indeed, I feel very honored to have been the first president who handed over a title deed to the first woman landowner in Marsabit. This is a feat that was unthinkable a decade ago, when it was culturally held that women could not hold a title in land. This program has brought hope where there was fear and despair. We have managed to heal wounds and resolve the phenomenon of protracted and acrimonious land disputes across the country. In places such as Kihiomwiri in Muranga, Nyakenywa in Trans Nzoia, Wikanjuni in Kilifi, group ranches in Kajiado, Narok, and Samburu, amongst others. And further, under the titling program, all beneficiaries living in the former colonial villages, such as in Nyandarua and Nyeri, have been issued with title deeds, bringing to a happy end a century-long tale of despair and destitution. But over and above this, another area that I have been extremely proud of is that we have secured our natural resources and heritage sites like the Mau Forests, the Nairobi National Park, our City Park, the Masai Mara Game Reserve, amongst others, through the issuance of title deeds. 9 years after we accepted the challenge, we have accomplished what seemed to many to be impossible. From 2013 to date, we have issued over 6 million title deeds, compared in similar number to those issued over the preceding 50 years since independence and the 50 years prior to independence during the colonial government. The government is also documenting land belonging to public institutions, such as schools, hospitals, law courts, prisons, and for example, the Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning, working with partners in the education sector, has delivered the titling of parcels of land belonging to 20,000 schools and the surveying of 32,000 public schools. In line also with our commitment to establish an efficient, transparent, and accountable land administration and management system, we developed and launched the National Land Information Management System in April of 2021. This is what is commonly referred to as Ardhi Sasa, which aims to facilitate the electronic transaction of land deals. In the past, all land matters were handled using a manual registry, which unfortunately made the Ministry of Lands a den of corruption, and this led to some truly shocking outcomes. As we have seen, many pieces of land having dual titles, others properties belonging to the public transferred to private hands, and so on and so forth. So as part of our reforms in the land registry, the process of identifying fake title deeds and reversing the endemic fraud that had fraught the ministry was accelerated, and we have also increased efficiency and the speed of land processing, because you will recall that it once, not too many years ago, actually less than 4 years ago, it took a minimum of 6 months to complete a single land transaction. Today, this has been reduced to 48 hours using this system we have in place. Similarly, instead of taking between 1 and 3 months to conduct a land search, the system gives you a land search result in 3 to 5 minutes from the comfort of your home or office. But what I'm most proud about is the fact that all these systems have been developed by our very own young Kenyans who have shown that given an opportunity, they can participate in the transformation of our country, Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, I had the profound honor of assenting into law the Community Land Act, a progressive law that enabled local communities to legally register and own their communal lands. Previously, an estimated 3.5 million Kenyans had been unable to register their communal lands, lands that covered roughly 150,000 square miles, or 67% of Kenya's landmass. Following this progressive legislation, we have been able to issue title deeds to group ranches in Laikipia, Samburu, Kajiado, West Pokot, and Taita Taveta, an endeavor that has uplifted over 500,000 people. To support devolved units and to decentralize land administration services, we have also, through the Ministry of Lands, gazetted additional 10 registries in Kajiado West, Kajiado South, Yatta, Mtomo, Samburu, Malindi, Roiro, Tigania West, Marimanti, Kiritiri, to name but a few. This brings the total number of land registries across the country to a historic high of 67, meaning that in most of these areas, you no longer need to travel to Nairobi to conduct your business. We are further in the process of constructing an additional 10 registries to promote efficient delivery of services in Hola, Kitui, Mbere, Bomet, Olkalau, Naivasha, Nandi, Roiro, Laikipia, and Samburu. The construction of these new registries will go a long way in facilitating the decentralization of ministry services. Nataka tufanye hii kazi kwa sababu tunajua kila mtu akipata haki yake, hiyo ni maendeleo na hiyo ni pesa kwa mfuko ya kila mtu. Wengi wanaweza kuendelea hapo, wataongea huko ya kwamba hii ni makaratasi tu. Lakini jameni, nataka kusema kwa hiyo 1,000,000 tunaishu leo, hata ukichukua bei ya mwisho kabisa, tuseme ni shilingi 1,100 karatasi moja, ukienda kwa benki ile unaweza kukopa, kujenga ama kufanya mambo mengine. Ukichukua hiyo bei, ni kusema ya kwamba yale ambaye tumetenda leo ni kuachilia zaidi ya bilioni 100, 100 billion shillings kwa mikono ya wananchi. Na yale ambaye tumefanya kutoka 2013 mpaka wa leo, hata tukichukua hiyo bei, ni zaidi ya bilioni 600, 600 billion Kenya shillings. Na tunajua kuna titles zingine hapo ambazo hata ziko na bei juu zaidi. Kuna wengine hapo tumepatiwa title, ukiona mtu ameenda ni ya milioni 6, mtu amechukua loan ya milioni 5, milioni 2. Na hiyo ndio njia ya kujenga nchi. Kwa sababu sasa umesaidia mtu kuwa na kitu ambacho anaweza kukopa na kuinua hali yake, kujenga biashara yake, kukuza shamba yake, ukiwa huogopi ya kwamba kesho utakuja kunyang'anywa. Ama ni namna gani jameni? Ukiwa pia na haki ya kwamba hakuna mtu anaweza kuja arudi tena kukufukuza kwa shamba yako. Na hiyo ndio ya muhimu. Furaha yangu ni kuona kama hawa kina Nyakinywa wa Trans Nzoia, watu ambao wameishi huko hata mbele ya mzungu, lakini kila saa wanaambiwa rudini kwenu. Kwenu ni wapi? Kwenu ni hapo unaishi na uko na cheti yako ya kusema hii ni shamba yangu. Ya? Hakuna mtu anaweza kukufukuza. Unarudi wapi? Hapo ambapo upo ndipo kwako. Ya? Ama ni namna gani? Tuna wenzetu huko kutoka upande ya Samburu, kutoka upande ya Narok na Kajiado, ambao wanaambiwa hii area hii yote ni yenu, lakini hawana document yoyote ya kuwaonesha. Kesho unasikia mtu amechukua kitu, mtu amechukua fulani, mtu amechukua, inalete vita, inalete shida. Sasa kila mtu atakuwa na cheti chake kusema hapa ni kwangu na uwezi uguze kwangu. Kuna wale ambao wamezoea kuiba misitu, kwa sababu wanaenda, mtu anakata, mwishowe kwa sababu anajua hakuna mtu anafuatilia, unaona msitu yetu yote imeisha. Sasa ukijaribu kukata msitu, title deed itaonesha hii ni area ya msitu. Hawa vijana wameweka katika digital format, hakuna title ambayo inaweza kuwa issued in gazetted forest land. Ndio tuweze kulinda misitu yetu. Kuna wengine wamezoea kuiba mali ya umma, anaenda anatembea. Kuna wengine na hawakuwa na kazi nyingine, kazi yao ilikuwa kuzunguka, wanaamuka asubuhi kuzunguka Nairobi, kuzunguka Mombasa, kuangalia pahali ambapo hakuna mtu, na hii ni ya nani, na hii ni ya nani. Hiyo pia ni enzi zilizopita. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo inaweza kutendeka tena. Kwa hivyo mimi nawaomba, let us treat this as a valuable document. Let us not treat these documents as individually owned. This document belongs to you and your family. And you must sit and plan together to see how you can utilize it to better you and your family's life.